You wake up each morning believing you are stepping into reality. But what if reality is stepping into you first? Before your eyes even open, your brain is already predicting what the room should look like, how your body should feel, and what kind of day awaits you. That moment of waking is not neutral. It is a reconstruction. Your mind fills in gaps before you notice them, smoothing the transition from unconsciousness to awareness. You do not observe the world as it is. You receive a version your brain believes is useful. This realization can feel unsettling because it suggests you have never directly touched reality itself. Instead, you have always been inside a carefully managed hallucination. And once you see this, it is hard to unsee it. Your brain evolved not to reveal truth, but to keep you alive. Long before philosophy or science, survival demanded speed, not accuracy. The brain learned to guess before it learned to know. It built shortcuts that favored familiarity over precision, meaning over detail. What you call perception is actually inference running at incredible speed. Light hits your eyes, but the image you see is assembled from memory, expectation, and probability. The brain asks what is most likely, not what is objectively real. This is why two people can witness the same moment and walk away with entirely different realities. Consider how color works for a moment. Objects have no color in themselves, only wavelengths of light. Your brain translates those wavelengths into experiences like red, blue, or green. The world you see is already a symbolic interpretation, not a direct imprint. Even sound is not sound until your brain turns vibrations into meaning. Silence itself is an interpretation. Reality arrives fragmented and incomplete, and your brain stitches it together into something coherent. What you experience feels seamless only because the stitching is hidden from you. Your brain is constantly predicting what will happen next. It anticipates the weight of a cup before you lift it. It expects the ground to stay solid beneath your feet. When predictions match sensory input, you feel stable and grounded. When they do not, reality feels strange or wrong. This is why surprises feel jarring and why anxiety can distort perception. An anxious brain predicts danger and then interprets the world to confirm that fear. Reality bends quietly to expectation. Memory plays a far larger role in perception than most people realize. You do not see the present alone, you see it layered with the past. Every experience you have ever had subtly influences how new ones appear. Trauma can make neutral situations feel threatening. Love can make flaws disappear. Your brain does not separate memory from perception cleanly. They bleed into each other. In this way, the past is never truly past. It is always rewriting the present from behind the scenes. This is why reality feels personal. Your brain carries a unique history, a unique emotional fingerprint. What feels overwhelming to one person may feel trivial to another. The difference is not strength or weakness, it is interpretation. Your brain decides what matters before you consciously weigh in. By the time you notice your reaction, the hallucination is already complete. You are responding to a world shaped by your inner life. Hallucination does not mean false in the way we usually think. It means constructed. The brain hallucinates reality the same way it hallucinates dreams, just with tighter constraints. In dreams, prediction runs wild. In waking life, sensory input keeps it in check, but the mechanism is the same. Both are internal simulations. One feels real because it is anchored to the body and environment. The other feels unreal because it floats freely. Even time is not experienced as it truly flows. The brain chunks moments together, stretching some and compressing others. Fear slows time. Familiar routines make it disappear. You do not move through time evenly, you experience it emotionally. This is why childhood feels long and adulthood feels fast. Your brain marks novelty, not minutes. Reality is paced by attention, not clocks. Pain itself is a hallucination with a purpose. The brain generates pain to protect you, not to torture you. This is why placebo effects work. Belief can reduce suffering because the brain adjusts the signal. The injury exists, but pain is negotiable. Your experience of your body is not a readout. It is an interpretation. Even your sense of self is part of this construction. The feeling of being you is not located in one place. It is an ongoing narrative maintained by the brain. It updates constantly, smoothing contradictions and editing memories. You feel continuous, but you are constantly changing. The brain hides this instability to give you coherence. Without this illusion, you would feel fragmented. The self is not discovered, it is generated. This can be comforting or terrifying depending on how you look at it. Comforting because you are not broken for feeling lost at times, terrifying because certainty becomes fragile. If reality is constructed, then absolute truth becomes harder to grasp. But this does not mean nothing is real. It means reality is relational. It exists between the world and the mind. Your beliefs act like lenses. They sharpen some details and blur others. If you believe the world is hostile, your brain will find evidence. If you believe it is meaningful, patterns will appear. This is not weakness, it is how perception works. Meaning is not found, it is assigned, and once assigned, it shapes behavior. Behavior then shapes outcomes, reinforcing the belief. This loop is powerful. It can trap people in suffering. It can also free them. Changing perception does not change the world directly, but it changes how the world meets you. The brain updates its hallucinations slowly, but it does update. Awareness is the first crack in the illusion. When you notice the construction, you gain space within it. This is why mindfulness changes experience, not because it reveals some pure reality, but because it loosens prediction. It teaches the brain to pause before filling in gaps. In that pause, choice appears. You are no longer entirely inside the hallucination. You are observing it form. That observation is transformative. Science does not remove mystery here, it deepens it. The more we learn about perception, the stranger it becomes. Reality is not less meaningful because it is constructed, it may be more meaningful. You are not a passive observer. You are a participant in reality's creation. Every moment, your brain negotiates what exists for you. This does not mean you can simply think your way out of pain. The hallucination is constrained by biology and environment, but it does mean interpretation matters deeply. The same event can break one person and strengthen another. The difference lies not in the event, but in the meaning assigned. Meaning is the lever the brain responds to. When you feel disconnected or unreal, it is not because you are failing. It may be because your brain's predictions no longer match your experience. This mismatch can feel like emptiness or confusion. It is uncomfortable, but it is also an opening. Old hallucinations are dissolving. New ones have not yet formed. Growth often feels like groundlessness. Even love is a hallucination shaped by chemistry and expectation, but that does not make it fake, it makes it human. The feelings are real because they are experienced. Reality is not diminished by being constructed. A story can move you, even if you know it is a story. Your brain does not require objectivity to feel truth. The danger lies in forgetting that perception is interpretation. When people mistake their hallucination for absolute reality, rigidity forms. Conflict follows. Understanding this softens certainty. It allows curiosity to replace judgment. Others are not wrong so much as different. Their brains are telling different stories with different evidence. This perspective invites humility. It reminds you that your view is partial. It encourages listening instead of defending. When you realize everyone is hallucinating reality in their own way, compassion becomes easier. Suffering becomes contextual instead of personal. You stop asking why you are weak and start asking how your brain learned this story. Your brain learned its hallucination from experience. That means it can learn new ones. Slowly, gently, with repetition and safety. You are not trapped inside a single version of reality forever. The story can evolve. The hallucination can soften. The world can feel different without changing externally. This is not about denying reality. It is about recognizing your role in shaping it. You are not merely reacting to the world, you are co-creating your experience of it. That responsibility is heavy, but it is also empowering. Awareness gives you influence where blindness gave you none. The brain hallucinates reality because reality is too complex to take raw. The hallucination is a gift and a limitation. It protects you and confines you. Understanding this does not break the illusion entirely. It gives you room to breathe within it. It gives you choice where there was once reflex. When you feel overwhelmed, remember that what you are experiencing is not the world itself, but a model. Models can be updated. Predictions can change. Meaning can be re-authored. You are not weak for feeling what you feel. You are human inside a powerful mind doing its best. Reality is not something you step into, it is something that unfolds within you. The brain does not show you the world, it introduces you to a version of it. And once you understand that, you are no longer just inside the hallucination. You are awake within it.